should have measured it.
10 inches.
10? In like 10 hours?
Yeah. Hope your wipers are off. Are they off?
Yes.
Start it up and let it warm up.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to plow snow.
Thank you. Love you.
So I've got 2 hours to get the snow swept off the new roof and get it dried in, because I have to get the tin up tomorrow. If I don't get the tin up tomorrow, I may not genuinely have a chance to get the tin up again throughout the rest of winter. We have 2 snowstorms coming in later this week, and it's going to start getting cold enough. It's actually 38. It's warm. Snow's melting. But real quick now, it's going to get down below freezing and stay there. So basically, I have to get this done. Regardless of how hard I try to get ready for what I know is inevitable, meaning snow, it seems I never get all of the projects done in time for the first legit heavy snow. And the snow is now here. So things just became significantly harder. It's one thing to have to deal with just a few inches of snow, and that's easily manageable. But we know there's more coming. When it finally gets down cold enough that the snow is here to stay, we know it is just a matter of time before we have feet of snow on the ground. There has never been a year where we didn't end up with large amounts of snow, but this particular year is a year where we genuinely need it in a way where we haven't needed it in a long time because of the drought. Getting the roof dried in is the least I can do under the circumstances, because the snow is much easier to push off of the underlayment than it is the plywood. It doesn't take a whole lot of sun to get rid of the little bit of ice that is accumulated under the snow on the plywood and the underlayment. But while I'm waiting for that sun, it's an ice skating rink to say the least. Is it wrong that whenever I get in these situations where things are starting to go bad, the first place I look is the camera? If nothing else, I better get it on film. When I showed Cedar my little slip and slide incident, I was hoping for a little attaboy from her, because I managed to hang onto the safety strap, and with my cat-like reflexes, I managed to keep from going off the roof. The first thing that Cedar said after watching that little clip was, and I quote, "You better not have hurt my Milwaukee blower." End quote. She loves that blower, and we use it all over the place, whether it's removing snow from the roof or blowing sawdust off concrete. It gets used everywhere. Cedar was kidding for the most part, but as far as the underlayment is concerned, most underlayments that I've seen are designed to still provide traction even when they might have a little bit of water or ice on them. My hope is that now, because the roof is dried in, if we do get more snow, it will not be anywhere near as hard to handle. Where the roof transitions up against the shop, I use the final piece of underlayment to act like a flashing, ensuring that no water, ice, snow, or anything that could do damage can get back there. This is the best case scenario because I don't have the board and batten put up on this side. As I've talked about in other videos, I'm always looking for opportunities to improve our situation, regardless of what we're dealing with. This little Honda four-wheeler definitely fits the bill as far as the snow cleanup is concerned, because it can get in places that the Ranger couldn't.
You like the snow? You like the snow? You like the snow?
There's part of me that wonders if a large snowblower is in my future. They make a snowblower that actually goes on the front of a decent sized ATV like the one we have. And there's part of me that wonders if the battle with the snow might be easier to control if I had the ability to send it into the front yard instead of simply trying to push it down the hill. Either way, it's a lot of fun cleaning the snow up. As long as you're dressed properly and you've got the right snow boots on and the right audiobook in your ears, you can spend all day out here pushing this stuff around. If you were not able to join us on Friday night for our live date night from Red Poppy Ranch, we missed you. We recognize it may have been a bad night to do it, but we felt like it was something we wanted to do to simply say thank you. You guys were listening from all over the world, and many of you were up way past your bedtime. Thank you for joining us. It was fun. Doing it live like that always makes me incredibly nervous, but it seemed to have worked out and we enjoyed your questions. I ran the plow truck last night for the first time of the season. We got a foot of snow. We have 2 more storms coming in right behind it. Every strap on my chains broke. The windshield wiper motor went out as well. I've got to change that before it gets dark and before it starts snowing. One of the questions that we got on the live feed the other night was, what do I tell myself on those days when I just flat don't feel like doing anything? I've thought about that question quite a bit over the last 24 hours, and I really don't remember what it is I say to myself. That might convince me to get outside and get to work. But what I do know is the feeling I have at the end of that day, that feeling that I didn't want to do anything, but I still got up, went outside, and accomplished something. That feeling at the end of that day completely overpowers the first feeling I had at the beginning of the day. All that I know is it just feels better to get something accomplished. It's obvious that the weather's not going to get any better, and I have to go exchange the 12-foot pieces of tin that I have for 14-footers, since we decided to do a 14-foot overhang on that far side of the shop. I know at this moment, as I'm leaving, that somebody's going to have to be here to help me get the truck up the driveway when I come back. It's only 15 pieces of tin, but just the weight of that trailer with this dually, and I can't get up the driveway. The wholesaler was good enough to take back the 12-footers that I picked up about a month ago, and then I had to pay the difference to get 14-footers. But I can tell already with the snow that we're getting that having a 2-foot overhang is going to end up being incredibly important as the snow gets deeper and deeper and deeper. I have had to run the plow truck for a total of about 4 hours so far this week. We've gotten over a foot. It's probably going to put down another foot tonight. The kids don't have school tomorrow, but I still need to keep the road open. When I was kind of going over the plow truck looking for anything that may need some attention before I really seriously get into using it, I noticed that one of the brackets that supports the plow has completely sheared off, and the other side has stress cracks in it. So I am gonna pull this wheel off real quick and see if I can't get in there and get this fixed. This 1992 F-250 only has about 130,000 miles on it. But the problem with those miles is those are hard miles. This truck was born and raised as a plow truck. It's never let me down thus far, but every year there's always something that needs to be fixed or welded. But ultimately, it's been a great truck. There's not a whole lot of snow, but there's a few inches of snow. So I'm not backing. A couple hours, come looking for me.
Hey,
keep your
couple
phone,
hours.
Keep your phone close by. I'll try to text you. It's not that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. Let's go, Ruby. I'll feed you the goats, so they're good before I leave.
And the chickens?
Huh? Come on. So this is the goat that lost her baby to the mountain lion a couple of months back. And I have to kind of feed her separate because the other goats are just not so kind to her. But she's got at least a couple babies growing in her belly. And it's really important that she gets all the nutrition that she needs while the other goats are over here fighting over everything. I was able to weld up those brackets last night on the plow truck, and I made 2 passes up and down. We didn't have a whole lot of snow last night. We've gotten probably 3 inches since last night. The plow truck felt great. I don't know how long that bracket's been broken, but it made a difference to get that repaired. But just to put it into perspective, right here at our house, we are 5,590 feet, and I plow almost 3 miles. Down to where the county picks up and starts plowing. The elevation down there is got to be at least 200 feet lower than right here. I'll tell you once I get down there. But it's much easier naturally plowing downhill than uphill. So I try to do the big heavy stuff on the way down, then just do a little cleanup on the way back. Here we go. Let's go, Ruby. Last spring, right in the middle of lockdown, when spring turkey kicked off, I think there was a whole bunch of men that wanted to get out of their house, and they I think there was more spring turkey tags sold last year than like ever before in history. And we had more brand new shotguns and Toyota Camrys up here last year than ever before. That opening weekend, Cedar and I figured that we counted almost 200 vehicles. Okay, this is typically as far as I plow, which is about 2.5 miles from our house. And This is 5,000, almost exactly 5,000 feet. So we're talking about a difference of probably 600 feet from our house to here. And so now I'm going back uphill. So typically what I do is just go right down the middle, and rather than taking on a whole lot of big heavy snow on the way uphill, I just clean up the middle, send the middle to one side or the other, and then I will make one more pass coming back, and I'll go, I typically start on either the left side or the right side, and I just work my way to the other side. I try to do the downhill side where I can, push the snow to the downhill side, but it doesn't always work out that way up here at our place. Now here I am trying to play keep up with Mother Nature, all in the name of getting the tin roof installed and being completely finished, at least as far as the roof is concerned. Mother Nature in Idaho is always in control, and she doesn't care what you think. Initially, I threw a safety strap that I had over the chimney, again, in the name of safety, and that safety strap did its job. But I didn't like the way I was pulling on the chimney, so I grabbed one of my tow straps and secured it to the back of the shop. Because the underlayment is as dark as it is, all I need is a little bit of sun, and all the ice and water will go away. But if somehow that does not happen, and there may be a minuscule amount of ice, I may still have to install the tin just to get it done. By the way, the combination of the few storms that came through had to have put down close to a couple of feet of snow. The more I look at this corner and the more I think about it, it really only makes sense to bring these two roof lines together. It would provide even more shelter on that corner, so the gates can be open without conflict. But I'm not going to try and tie the corner together over winter. I'll save that project for another warmer day. Because the rafters on this side of the shop are 2x8s, and the rafters on the front of the shop are 2x10s, I'm going to have to kind of fake it. And the way I'm going to do that is with the fascia board that will wrap all of the existing 2x8s. The sun came out for a minute and started to do what I needed it to do, and then disappeared. But the next few days look promising. We'll see you back here in a few days, hopefully with a roof close to being finished. We've got about a 4-day window between now and the next storm. And I've got to get the fascia installed, and I've got to get the drip edge installed, then I can do the tin. I didn't get anywhere near as much done this week as I hoped to because I was fighting snow and plowing and maintaining the plow truck. So if all goes well between now and the next video, I'll get the fascia done, I'll get the drip edge installed, and I'll start on the tin. we are in it as far as snow is concerned. And as soon as I get this roof done, I can move on to the chicken coop and the little goat barn, and I don't have to worry about what the weather does. But we're gonna get a bunch of snow. It's looking like we're gonna have a good year for snow, and so I have to work around it as best I can between now and then. And I still have to finish the back covered porch where the generator is. I do not want that generator exposed to the snow that's gonna slip off the roof. So I still have to focus on that, but I'm not starting on that until this is officially finished.